Only below zero temperatures have tapped down the anti-ICE riots and demonstrations in Minneapolis. President Trump says plans to invoke the Insurrection Act and send 1,500 troops to the Twin Cities are now on hold. What can we expect in the days ahead for Operation Metro Surge, described as the largest immigration enforcement operation in history? Joining us is Chris Salcedo, veteran television and radio broadcaster and executive director of the Conservative Hispanic Society. He's author of the book, The Rise of the Liberty-Loving Latino, A New American Revolution. Chris, it's good to talk with you. ICE is not going to reduce its efforts in Minneapolis. In fact, 3,000 federal agents are now on the ground there. What do you see happening? Will the demonstrations and riots subside or get worse?
I know they're going to get worse because they're being rewarded. The Democrats are seeing a positive political benefit. They're shoring up their base, and midterm elections are very much base elections. So those who believe in illegal immigration, criminal illegal immigration, those who believe in thumbing their nose at the rule of law and the Constitution, the Democrat Party, they will continue to do these things. Sadly, we've already seen ICE agents shot at, run over, targeted, and the left wing won't stop until they kill someone, and then they're going to kill someone, and then only they will stop if they get a response. I know President Trump is concerned about the midterm elections. I know he's listening to some political advisors who were telling him that, it would be bad if you were to respond with the Insurrection Act and putting down, by the way, the Insurrection Act, there are 3 criteria. 2 of those 3 have been met, in my estimation. You only need to meet 1 to be able to legally. And every legal expert that even on CNN says he has the legal authority to do it. He's just not going to do it for politics' sake. I just hope it doesn't end up costing somebody their lives. I believe it should be done, but it won't be done.
Well, 17 presidents have done it. I don't know about you, but people I talk to often say, although they support deportation, they think some of the ICE tactics are a bit extreme. Like, of course, the shooting of Rene Good, the arrest of a U.S. citizen, hauling him away in his underwear in sub-zero temperatures. So what are you hearing from people in the Latino community? Is there fear or approval?
Just because somebody happens to be Latino doesn't necessarily mean they're illegal. I know that's what CNN would like you to think. And I know that's a lot of left-wingers out there. You know, to a lot of you leftists out there, I know we all look alike to you. But trust me, being Latino doesn't equal illegal, just so everybody knows and understands, contrary to what you've been told by left-wingers. But as far as the Latino community is concerned, I don't pretend to speak for every Hispanic, just those who love liberty, just those who believe in following the rule of law and the stability that comes from a nation of laws. And I can tell you, those who have bothered to find out the truth of what's going on about the rule of law not being a suggestion and knowing that, hey, we should only follow the law only if it's convenient for Democrats and their political agenda, that dynamic doesn't exist in the United States Constitution or in our rule of law. Those who believe in the law and the Constitution are not swayed at all by those who say that ICE is acting irresponsibly. I don't know how. This is what ICE was founded to do. They are there to enforce immigration law. If you're in the country illegally, there is no legal predicate for you to be on U.S. soil. None whatsoever. And you deserve to be deported. You do not deserve to be here. As far as the shooting of the activist who used her car to try to run over an ICE agent, causing him to be hospitalized, causing internal bleeding to that agent, I would like to know from those who say that that's extreme behavior, what would you have done? Is it your left-wing contention that cars are not weapons? And if that's your contention, I would invite you to demonstrate that to the country by stepping in front of one for us. Well, it might save us a lot of trouble.
Well, let's talk about churches. We saw the sanctity of a church service interrupted by demonstrators on Sunday. President Trump commented on Truth Social, contending those involved are professionals, troublemakers who should be thrown in jail or thrown out of the country. Do you agree or disagree?
To violate constitutional rights of Americans by busting into their church service while they were holding service, preventing them from worshiping God. And to me, there is nothing more antithetical to the American experience than leftists believing they have the right to interfere with your worship of the Almighty, a First Amendment protection. So when President Trump says those who would deny First Amendment protections to their fellow citizens and have no business in this country, absolutely. If you are not committed to preserving our rights and liberties under the Constitution, you have no business being in America.
And it seems like all of this could have been taken care of if the Minneapolis police and the politicians would just release people who've been released from jail, hand them over to ICE. You wouldn't have to go and do these raids, right?
Or if individuals in Minnesota were committed to the rule of law and the U.S. Constitution and the preservation of this last best hope of mankind on planet Earth, which they are not. Sadly, they are electing individuals, the majority of them anyway, who are the antithesis of the American experience, the antithesis of the Constitution, of liberty, freedom, the rights of the individual. Sadly, those in Minnesota, in the majority, do not represent those American ideals. And they are, in my estimation, open rebellion against U.S. law and the U.S. Constitution.
Okay, the book is The Rise of the Liberty-Loving Latino, A New American Revolution. Chris Salcedo, Executive Director of the Conservative Hispanic Society. Thanks for sharing your insights. We appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. It was much fun.